The Veterans Memorial in Silver Spring Township was dedicated on November 11th at 11 o'clock in 2011. We began in 2007 planning for a memorial somewhere in Silver Spring Township that would honor all of our veterans. We had a contest that had submissions from all over the world, and we chose this one because we thought it was the best one. We called it the obstacle course because you have to negotiate through it. The architect intended that the overlapping walls would symbolize the protection of each service that it gives to the homeland, represented by the flags and the reflecting pool. The memorial was designed by Matt Leone of Lynn Architects in Media, Pennsylvania. He was a young man, and this was one of his first commissions. The landscaper was Jane Keel of the English Garden in Carlisle, PA. The general contractor was Pottinger Contracting, and it was built to last. The architect stated that this memorial was designed and constructed to last just as our military has and continues to stand. The slab is 20 by 50 poured concrete over steel rebar and is laid on top of packed gravel. The weight of the concrete is approximately 3 tons, and the gravel was also approximately 3 tons. We could have placed the memorial anywhere in the township. We have 6 parks, and we looked at each one of them when we decided to place it. Willow Mill Park was suggested by the architect. The memorial sits along Connedaguanet Creek, and it was placed on a hilltop to overlook the creek, but it is also out of the floodplain. The original cost, as it was designed, was approximately $150,000. But as time went on and commodity prices raised, the final cost was approximately $250,000. All the money was raised with private and corporate donations. No tax dollars were used, and it continues to be funded by private donations. We raised a lot of money. New Kingston Fire Company held turkey dinners for us several years. We had lots of sales at summer festivals. We've sold t-shirts. We have an annual golf tournament. We've also been the recipient of someone's life insurance policy and many, many donations. Donations for bricks are $100, and plaques based on the price of the donation get you a granite plaque along the walls, which you will see later. The bricks commemorate a veteran or just a good thought by the donator. The order of the walls of the memorial are based on the reach of the service of each inner wall, more protective of the flag representing the homeland, and the outer wall representing the more expeditionary manner of that service. As Matt Leone, the architect, said at the dedication ceremony, the walls are aligned in order of responsive engagement. The attractive aspect of the design was that the viewer must interact with it by walking through it, thereby experiencing it and being part of it. The walls are 8 by 16 of materials representing the strengths of each service, about a foot thick. Matt said that the memorial's dedication, the walls are the embodiment of the sacrifice, achievement, and strength of all those American veterans. Through the walls, everything has a purpose and meaning, and the human scale and space of the memorial provides for the invocation of personal feelings and emotions for every individual who journeys through. The first wall is representative of the Air Force. It is aluminum, signifying stealth and agility. it is a hollow wall. The second wall is the navy, steel, signifying material of strength and sleekness. It's also a hollow wall, ribbed construction, as in the building of the ships. The marine wall is concrete, signifying a solid yet malleable nature. The army is block, representing their rugged and orderly presence. The Coast Guard wall is stone, signifying the last wall of defense and protection of the homeland. There are pieces missing from the walls, and they signify the losses, setbacks, and defeats of each service, but they still stand and will continue to stand in defense of the United States of America. The windows in the walls are aligned so that each airman, sailor, marine, soldier, and Coast Guardsman are saluting in formation when you look at them from one end to the other. It symbolizes a jointness in which all of the services work together for the greater good. The architect aligned these windows along the center line of the memorial. At each wall is a window maintaining the silhouette, and they salute the United States flag. At the end of the memorial is the reflecting pond. The markers are arranged in chronological order from colonial wars to the future, and they make a defensive perimeter around the flag. There are 21 markers, and they face outward. This forms a defensive perimeter, which is one of the most basic forms of defense for ground forces, and those symbolically are protecting the American flag through the ages. The last marker is blank, to represent future conflicts, which our armed forces will unfortunately have to engage. The landscaping was designed by Jane Keel, and we have trees and shrubs. We have eastern rosebud, serviceberry, a good old maple tree, a Cuso dogwood. We have witch hazel, hydrangea, knockout roses, and some perennial flowers. The perennials on the fence side, which look perhaps to be irises, were planted clandestinely, but are a welcome addition by some well-wishers. There are benches donated by a local company, so you have time to sit and enjoy and think. The memorial is maintained by Silver Spring Township and Admiral Perry Votech Landscaping Department. The veterans remembered at the memorial are all U.S. service members from any of the 5 armed forces serving peacetime or conflict from the colonial period until today. This includes veterans from around the country, but because of proximity, most named veterans on the bricks and plaques are from central Pennsylvania. We have well over 500 veterans remembered on the bricks. We have 14 known Silver Spring Township veterans who died in service of their country. More complete details on the website under Veterans Roster. The campaign and mission markers found in the pool represent America's declared wars, undeclared campaigns, and other important missions that the military has performed. There are 21 markers used as the highest military salute, i.e., a 21-gun salute. The ribbons are major campaigns or theaters of war designated by the Department of Defense, but it does not include personal wear ribbons. The campaigns and war markers. Number 1 is Colonial Wars from 1636 to 1765. Ribbon uses Jack of Great Britain. The second is the Revolutionary War. The ribbon is scarlet with a white center stripe. Number 3 is the Maritime Protection of the Republic. There are 5 ribbons. Maritime Protection of the Republic, the French Naval War, the Barbary Wars, African Slave Trade Patrol, and operations against West Indian pirates. Number 4 is the War of 1812. Number 5 is the Indian Wars. Number 6 is the Mexican War. 7 is the Civil War from 1861 to 1865. Number 8 is Expeditionary Service, 1874 to present day. Currently there are 15, with Libya to be added. Navy Expeditionary, Marine Corps, Philippine Insurrection, China Relief, Latin America, Cuban Pacification, Nicaraguan Campaign, Haitian Campaign, Mexican Expedition, Dominican Campaign, Second Nicaraguan Campaign, Yangtze Service, China Service, Armed Forces Expeditionary, Kosovo 1999, and Libya 2011. Ninth stone is the war with Spain in 1898. Number 10 is World War I, which is 2 campaigns, World War I and the Army of Occupation of Germany. Number 11 is World War II, 1939 to 1952, with 10 campaigns. American Defense, Merchant Marine Defense, American Theater, Merchant Marine Atlantic War Zone, Asiatic Pacific Theater, Merchant Marine Pacific War Zone, European African Middle Eastern Theater, Merchant Marine, World War II Victory, Army and Navy Occupation Service, the Cold War, the Korean Service. The Cold War was from 1948 to 1991, and there was no official recognition but one action incorporated, humane action, in the Berlin airlift. 13 is the Korean Service. 14 is Vietnam Service. 15, Southwest Asia Service. 16, Afghanistan Campaign. And 17, the Global War on Terrorism, which started in 2001, and include the Global War on Terrorism Expeditionary and the Global War on Terrorism Service. 18 is the Iraq Campaign from 2003 to 2010. 19 is support of civil authorities, which is 1776 to the present, and honor service in the homeland from the Whiskey Rebellion to Hurricane Katrina. 20 is the international peacekeeping and humanitarian operations. And unfortunately, we have a 21, which is a blank marker representing the unknown future mission to show continuity of the past, the present, and the future. The committee members who helped to build this beautiful memorial include Mr. Vince DiFilippo, whose visionary for the memorial was the start of it, and he was a former board chairman of this township. Colonel John Maeda, Master Sergeant Kurt Minich, Dennis Shepard, who was a Vietnam veteran, Deb Snyder, who's an Army veteran, Reuben Bird Troutman, a Marine Corps veteran from Korea, Keith Marston, an Army veteran from Vietnam, and Jennifer Printy, daughter of World War II Army veteran. Major monetary donors to the memorial include Petroleum Products Incorporated, Derek C. and Margaret Hathaway Family Foundation, Volk Manufacturing, the Mechanicsburg Club, Cleveland Brothers, Remco Electrical Contractors, Barbara Folk, Groff Tractor and Equipment, Colonel John Maeda, the Greeley Family Foundation, the Foundation for Enhancing Communities, American Legion Post 109, VFW Post 6704. In-kind donors include Hemp Brothers, Pensy Supply, and Remco. There are also many, many more donors. You can check out our website, which is www.sstpveteransmemorial.com, and we will find a full list of everyone who has contributed at least $100. Many of the bricks that are donated by families who have multiple generations of people who have volunteered and served our country. And we encourage you to visit the memorial and do some exploring.